Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I think it is about time until I make another controversial video. Guys, please stop hating on Gibson. It's getting a little bit too much, don't you think? I'm actually getting sick of this ongoing non-stop trend of people just uploading tons of videos just hating on Gibson. Now, I'm not saying Gibson is perfect, obviously. However, a lot of other brands are making similar mistakes, but no one talks about them and people just focus on Gibson. And I think I know why. But let's explore this in this video. So a few weeks ago, there was a spike of these videos hating on Gibson being just shown and recommended to me on YouTube all the time. This is after one of their most controversial releases this year. So they released a new limited custom collector's aged, I don't know if it's aged to be honest, but like a very limited blah 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 guitar, which is a signature model for the legendary Michael Schenker. It's a Flying V. This guitar costs $17,000. So let's tackle this for a minute. The first thing is this guitar is already sold out. Also, this is not the first time Gibson does something like this. There are so many examples, not only this year, but in previous recent years where they have done this. However, we have to remember something, all right? Most of us are not the target audience for these releases, and yet they keep selling out these guitars because there is a market for them. And this is Gibson's maybe business idea of making money. They can do these things and get away with it because they are getting away with it. They are selling them. So kudos to Gibson, you know? No one is forcing you to go out and maybe like be in debt to buy these items. Now, this is just why there is a spike in these videos right now. However, a lot of the old criticism points, they had validity at least at some point. But in my opinion, all of this was in the past, all right? At least we're seeing some improvement. So let's talk about that even more. Now, there are 2 points that most people reference whenever they criticize Gibson in the past. So the first one is the quality control and the second one is the price. Now for the quality control, now in the past 2 to 3 years approximately, I have purchased 2 Gibson guitars from a very famous guitar store online. Both were spectacular. They're as good as any of the other guitars I have purchased. They are great instruments. Now I know at some point, and I have seen it personally, but at some point Gibson guitars had a huge quality issue. But I think based on my anecdotal experience and based on a lot of other experiences on the internet, like unboxing videos, people reviewing Gibson guitars, I'm seeing much less complaints about their quality control, which is the point. That's a good thing. Now, regarding the price, okay, one of my top favorite YouTubers of all time is Red Shawl. He made a video recently. There's a lot of drama about that video, but I don't want to go into the details. But he basically tackled this price issue. Basically, when adjusted to inflation, the guitars right now cost the same they used to cost back in the 50s. However, the wages on average are lower, so people cannot afford the same prices anymore. Now, I will stop here because if I try to explain this further, I'm gonna butcher this concept. So hopefully you already got the point. Now, I know there is a lot of other issues that go beyond just the price and the quality control. And Gibson keep making questionable decisions every now and then. However, many other companies have done very similar things, but no one talks about it. So one criticism point is that Gibson are suing other guitar brands. Well, guess what? Very recently, actually, like maybe around a month ago, this became big news. Fender are now suing other brands, or at least are in the process of doing so. Now, I know there is a lot of trademark and lawyer talk related to this, so I'm butchering this heavily. I am aware of that. So many others have explained this better than me. But the thing is, whenever the legal language is introduced, it is the same concept, basically. But Fender maybe has a different strategy on how they're tackling it. And by the way, both Gibson and Fender and many other brands have done this in the past. This is not the first time Gibson has done this, and not the first time Fender is doing this. Also, if you go to the pedal world, this is happening a lot, but no one is talking about it. Now, I am aware that the Play Authentic video was a big controversial thing back in the day, and this is why people hate or feel negative emotions towards Gibson. I understand that. I fully understand it. However, they are pursuing legal action, but they didn't approach the audience in the best way. I do acknowledge that. So the mistake, I think, is not the taking of the legal action, but on how they approached it. I'm on board. It's a mistake. Also, let's not pretend that other brands are not buying other brands and firing their management. I'm talking about the Mesa Boogie controversy, which is like around 1 year ago, I think, by now. This happens, unfortunately, in a lot of companies in the guitar world and other industries. I know that from my own personal experience. Now, why this happened, I don't know. I know that a lot of people have asked questions. There are a lot of answers. But unfortunately, I think this is just a standard practice in many companies that they tend to do. Now, I'm not defending Gibson here. This is more of a corporation decision, I think. So I don't think this changes if Gibson are good or bad as a product. I don't think anyone is advocating for all of us to boycott Gibson because of that. So the point of this video is not really to defend Gibson per se or attack Gibson. I'm just sick of people talking about Gibson. I am fully aware that I'm part of the problem right now because I'm making a very clickbaity video talking about Gibson. However, my take is different and I hope you can see that. And I don't mind being blamed for making clickbait videos. I just think this is becoming almost like the lazy thing that if you do more than 5 Gibson videos, I think you're onto something. So please, enough with the Gibson suck thumbnails, we're all sick of it. Let's tackle another topic. Now, I'm making this video because I'm a Gibson fan, even before owning any Gibson guitars. I used to really dream of owning Gibson products when I was younger. And this is because this is a legacy brand that is heavily associated with a lot of the best musicians that I personally like. And of course, disclaimer, I'm not sponsored by Gibson, and I wish I was, but I'm not. So this is just a passion project for me to make this video. Now, of course, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And of course, make sure you post this specific one on the gear page.